One of the most important parts about buying a short-term rental is knowing the data behind it. Will it actually make money? I tried most of the tools that are on the market, and I kept coming back to Rabbu, one, because they have a free version that's unlimited. So today, I'm doing a completely honest review about data.rabbu.com, and I'll also be reviewing their paid platform called Market Data. Now, real quick caveat, they're not paying me for this video, but they did give me access into their paid insights. So I just want to let you know my honest opinions of it. In short, I think it's really great, but there are some limitations. Let me just run you through how I use the tool. Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Josh, and I'm a real estate investor and a marketer, and I help people make content that connects and build income through real estate. So if you want to know if it's worth it to buy the tool, take a look at the video. Okay, so let's jump into their platform. This is data.rabbu.com. First off, this platform here is completely free forever. And I talked to them and I made sure that because I really want to try all my clothes before I buy it sometimes. And this is the easiest way. So, on a quick 5-minute search, if you just need to see, I saw this really cool listing in a Tescadero, which is in wine country in California. How much could it make? It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. All you have to do is copy and paste the address. And again, you can do this right now without paying for anything. So do this. And if you do it, use my link down below because then say, hey, that works. Then you support me. I can build a bigger partnership with them. And then it helps me make more videos like this. Anyways, so this scrapes Airbnb listings in whatever radius you assign. So if I'm looking at this stuff here, you can change your filters up top immediately. And also real quick, I'm not logged in. So this is the free side. This is what you can get for free. So you can change the radius based on your market. If it's a relatively large market, then you can make it bigger. Or if you want to just narrow down to a neighborhood, you can do that as well. And then I'm only filtering for things that have 3+ stars because we're going to do way better than 3 stars at least. Your occupancy, ADR, RevPAN, and this is basically just your revenue per night adjusted for occupancy using. I know. Anyways, here's what I really like about this free version is one, it can give you an average nightly rate plus your occupancy rate, but I also like that it gives you just a quick snapshot of the seasonality. So other tools don't give this to you right off the bat. You have to MacGyver it through and or just piece together. I like that it gives it to you all in one. This is also so helpful if you want to see how it could change if you are the luxury top of the market property. If you're clicking this 25th percentile, use it for the point of context, but don't design something for the 25th percentile because you will lose. Just design to be the best. Okay, so there's also a nice little map view. As you go into the map view, I like the map view because you can see all the different listings and where they are relative to your subject property. So if I want to buy this house, and there's 3 right up the road, I know that on the screen share, the map view is not great, but you can also do a list view, I believe. You can either sort it and you can open it up and you can see the Airbnb listing without having to click through, which is super handy if you're lazy and efficient. You can click through the listing, see the picture, see how they're decorated. It looks like grandma's house and the most saddest backyard I've ever seen. But you can see what they're making, what the occupancy is, and even over the next. This is new, actually. I haven't seen this before. Pretty cool. Okay. So you can go into the calculator. Now, what's another fun feature about this is that you can select and deselect certain listings. So if you think, hey, this house right here, this is not a comp to me because it's way too ugly, I'm not going to put into my evaluations. And so as you go into it, you can also choose to deselect listings from the calculations. So then now what I would do is I would save this report and I would run that into my calculator to see if it's worth it on a cash on cash return for your needs. In short, basically this tool is free. So yes, you should use it because it's free all the time. Next thing you want to know is the Pro worth it? Their property acquisition software, aka their paid version of Data.Rabbu, is $99 a month. Shameless plug, if you want to help me, I do have a code. Use Joshua10 for $10 off your first 3 months. Or there's also the free version and keep using it until you want to do a new market. So I'm now logged in to the paid side. So I'm looking at that same property that's here. I now have additional market data in this one snippet right here. The banner ad changes once you're logged in. Cool. So it gives me an occupancy by zip code. What are these ones here? Let's make this a little bit bigger. I'm just looking at this for the first time myself. So this is my honest review. Full market report for the zip code. That's pretty cool. Okay, so one thing that's really interesting about this one is as you get into the market data, again, this is only scraping Airbnb. So that is one of the limitations. But if I'm looking on an Airbnb centered market, there are 207 active listings and 162 active hosts. So that's a really good way for you to tell, is the market overly saturated for the amount of tourism demand that's coming inside there? Or what is the main demand for people to come in there? So if I go into the market data side, bang, let's do that same zip code. Obviously, this is probably going to pull up the same thing. So it's 93422. So I like this feature because if you're looking for a new market, this is a great way just to get a quick snapshot before you do more due diligence. And that's probably a theme throughout the video is more due diligence. So your average nightly rate, again, this is now pulling for every single one of the listings, basically 0 to 10 bedrooms. You can filter it down more by property type. And so if you're looking for a macro perspective of the area, use that. If you want something a little tight knit, then start to deselect some of these. Let's just look at it overall. Here's one thing that I really like is I like it when softwares give you what the amenities are. So if I'm looking at this here, only 30% of listings accept pets. That means there's so much more room if you allow for pets to be able to have more guests because people want to travel with their pets. If you're willing to charge an extra pet fee and your cleaner's willing to do a good job cleaning up after them, again, that's all based on the team, but there's some room there. The other ones here, 15 and 22% have a pool or a hot tub. That is significant, especially in the summer. And in summer, Ontario gets 100 something degrees. You're going to want a pool. If you have a pool, you are way ahead of the competition. Clearly, you're already in top, basically 10%. Or the other thing that I'm looking at here, and this is another significant factor for me, is I want to see what property should I be buying. So if I'm looking at the current active listings that are in this area, there are 81 one bedrooms. And then there's basically 30% less, or there's 60% less, really, 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. And so if you want to separate yourself from the market, you could definitely get a bigger property. Clearly, here, the market demands it. But unlike other markets, that doesn't necessarily rule out what a 2 or 3 bedroom might be able to do because there's not that many of them. So definitely look at the amenities, look at the listing count by bedroom, and that'll hopefully help hone in what properties you should be looking for in them. This is just fun because you can see how the prices fluctuate over the course of the year. So, of course, summer, peak travel season for wine country, is high. You can see how the occupancy is actually decently consistent throughout, except that January, February, like I mentioned, is probably the dead months. And then interesting as back to school comes too, it gets to be dead. This is during harvest during wine country. So if you can potentially get a corporate traveler inside there or someone who works in the agriculture industry, wouldn't be a bad play for this market. All right. So you have your rev pan, which is just your average nightly rate multiplied by occupancy. What are the number of listings based off of the time? Man, 1 year ago, there's only 135. It's almost doubled. Not really. Close enough to it, though, in a year. And then your monthly revenue. And so this is gross. So on this point, you can tell, and this is decent enough here in terms of market data to see, okay, if my mortgage payment's $2,000-$3,000 a month, is that enough spread for me? After accounting for furnishing costs, cleaning fees, all that good stuff, and other expenses. But is this enough for you? I like using a tool like this because if you're looking at just a random market, I don't know. Let's see. I've always wanted to travel to goodness. Oh, what's one of my coworkers told me about is Cody, Wyoming is a big vacation rental market, but I have no idea. Let's just a random city. Let's just see. So Cody, Wyoming. I pulled this one up. Average nightly rate is 187 and 59%. Let's actually just see how much our house is here, anyways, just to give you Cody, Wyoming. Okay, so let's just look at only houses. Something in the middle of nowhere for 875. That's got to be like a houses here are actually a lot more expensive than I was expecting. Like a 4 bedroom, 3 bath, really cute. This one's got to be gorgeous though. Okay, that's pretty nice. That's huge. Way bigger than you would think. 2,600 square feet. I was not expecting it to be that big. Built in 2016, new build. This for sure looks like. Actually, initially I thought it was someone's vacation rental. I think so. This bed is cheap and cheesy. Horrible decor. And is that a detached garage? Definitely needs some love though, that's for sure. But not bad. There's a new construction here for 340. Some of these houses are affordable at 400s, 500s, 400s, 450. This one like screams Airbnb in the front. Look at that. It's pretty cute. But the inside needs some love. Okay, anyways, getting down rabbit hole. Wrong rabbit hole. So if I'm exploring this market, I'd take a look. There's 333 active listings, 147. I'd probably do some quick Google searching, get a few different data points on how many visitors are actually coming to the area per year, and then I can make the decision on is it worth it. Seasonalized average revenue is $82,000. That is higher than a Tescadero, and the prices are cheaper. See? So that's how I would compare. As you take this and you're in Cody, Wyoming versus, let's just do that at Tescadero again, $50,000. $50,000. So there's already potentially, because you have a higher occupancy, I would assume, and look at this, side by side, 6,700 and 82,000 on Airbnb, 41 and $50,000. So that's how I would look at comparing markets and being able to say, where should I spend more time digging into? And then again, if I'm looking at this again too, if I'm looking at amenities, not a lot of pets, even less people accept pets. Pools and hot tubs, 0. Room to dominate like crazy. That's fun. And then on a 4, I would go for a straight 4-bedroom house because the 1, 2-bedroom, a lot of listings. But these bigger houses, 4 bedrooms, and at more bedroom count, you're probably getting closer to the seasonalized annualized revenue. And your occupancy, 60% throughout the year, summer peaks, and then August and September are dead. But relatively through the rest of the year, it's pretty good. I would then figure out what the tourism drivers are per season. So does it snow out there? What are the winter activities? What major marquee events and things like that are driving the occupancy throughout the season? But again, this is just 1,000-foot look view. Average nightly rate, peaks in the summer. Listings have gone down. Interesting. And then the monthly revenue. Okay. Interesting. All right. So if I'm exploring a new market, this is exactly what I would use the tool for. It's $90 a month with my code. And if you're thinking about buying a house for 400, 500, if you look at this one, what is this? Almost $1 million. You should have as many data points as possible and chalk this up into the due diligence phase. If you're paying for contractors to walk the property, chalk all these fees up to the due diligence phase. So if you're going to buy inspections for $600, if you are paying contractors to bid out the project, include market data and buying quality market data as part of your due diligence, because that is the most important part. My quick overall reactions is I like it. The interface is really clean, easy to use. Everything is accessible, and it didn't take me too long to figure out exactly how to use this. Again, I haven't super explored that pro version, so this is one of my first few times using it, but I enjoyed it. Here's some of the limitations. First off, it's only pulling from Airbnb data. So if your market is also heavy on VRBO, Booking.com, Expedia, whatever it may be, it's not going to pull that data. So then your occupancy could get limited, and that will offset your projections. The next thing, and this goes with any tool in general, is that they don't count for direct bookings as part of the revenue. So yes, the property could look booked or it could just look blocked out, but all of these platforms don't account for direct booking. So if you are building out a model where you're eventually going to move more into a direct booking model, either with travel nurse, the staffing recruiters, and or insurance relocation specialists, this won't account for that. So take everything with a grain of salt and use all of this data wherever you're getting it from as a starting point. And then I like to gather a few other buckets of data. Now, this is not going to be the Bible. This is not going to be the perfect truth, but this is a starting point and a talking point as you do more due diligence. So once you get this and you're thinking about, I would like to be in Cody, Wyoming. Sure, why not? But how can I actually say if this is true? There are 2 things that I would do. There's 3 things. I would go into Facebook and I would look up Cody, Wyoming Airbnb groups. And I would go into groups like this, like STR Nation, and I would say, does anyone know any other operators who run an Airbnb in Cody, Wyoming? Post that everywhere. Post that on your own stories, as many different Airbnb groups as possible, and then reach out to as many as possible. And from there, as you talk to them, ask them about the market, what they like about it, what they don't like about it. I would even share your initial findings with them and just say, hey, how accurate is this? And that way you're giving them market data. You're sharing your reports with the hopes that they would then say, hey, here's what my actual bookings look like. Yeah, it's actually pretty accurate. Or no, I'm not making anywhere near close to it, or hopefully I'm making way above it. Ask those questions. I would then also ask other property managers in the area. Just Google short-term rental property managers in XYZ market. And from there, call them all up. One, you may be able to find someone who can help you out, build out this entire unit and business. But 2, they'll also give you their thoughts as professionals in the market of what that property can generate. The last thing if you want to connect with other owners in the area, and this is frowned down upon by the property, but you could message other hosts in the area, and some of them might be willing to connect. We've done that in the Joshua Tree Market and some of the other places. We've gotten mixed feedback, but it is possible. And at the end of the day, they don't know who you are. So if they blow you off, it's the end of the world. The net of this all is getting data from as many different sources is extremely important. So use tools, especially the free. There's no reason why you should not be using the free version of data.rabbu. And if you're actively in the market, you can get 10% off with my code on the pro version, and then layer in as many other data points as possible. So whatever else you find on the internet to help validate your decision, other operators and property managers, put all of that together to then make a decision for yourself. Anyways, I hope you found this helpful. I do want to review more tools. So if you have any other platforms, whether it be a property management system, smart locks, more tools, let me know which ones to review below. And if you found this helpful at all, please share it with somebody else who is interested in short-term rental investing. And that would really mean the world to me. Anyways, thanks so much, Rabbu, for letting me try out the pro version. I'm definitely going to keep using it. And I hope that you do too. If you want to connect with me on Instagram, or TikTok. That's all linked down below. Lastly, because you're probably watching this in the future when I'm filming it, I'm doing a podcast with the CEO of Rabbu, Amir, and he's going to break down exactly how his team underwrites short-term rental properties, and hopefully you can learn something from that too. So I will link that down below as well, and I'll see you in the next video.